Welcome to the Eye of Horus Productions, The Boogieman. Boogieman is Boogieman is Boogieman is Boogieman the Boogieman the Boogieman the Boogieman. He is a formless personification of terror. We can see the Boogieman or the Boogie Monster. It's a legendary fictional creature, feared by everyone, although his looks aren't really known, but nevertheless he managed to scare the daylights out of anybody. Boogieman pronounced is a common allusion to a mystical creature in many cultures used by adults to frighten children into good behavior. This monster has no specific appearance or conceptions about it, can vary drastically from household to household within the same community. In many cases, it has no set appearance in the mind of an adult or a child, but is simply a non-specific embodiment of terror. Parents tell their children that if they misbehave, the Boogieman will get them. Boogieman may target a specific mischief. For instance, a boogeyman that punishes children who suck their thumbs, or general misbehavior depending on what purpose needs serving. In most cases, the boogeyman is a nickname for the devil. Boogeyman tales vary by religion. The boogeyman is usually a masculine entity, but it can be any gender. One story insisted that the Boogieman was created from ashes of two dead cats and a 20-year-old nun. He or she existed after the reign of Jack the Ripper in the 18th century. A devastating named Albert Fish was considered one and only Boogieman. He lived in New York area in the early 1900s. The word boogeyman comes from the original word bogus, meaning non-existing. So bogus man or boogeyman is normal as KC in KC and the Sunshine Band. It is for he is the quintessential boogeyman. Remember the song? I'm your boogeyman, boogeyman, turn me on. There is a Russian hag witch that lives in an awkward log cabin that walks on chicken legs deep in the woods. Well, she is Baba Yaga, a boogeyman that shouldn't be messed with like Hansel and Gretel from the Grimm brothers. She captures children and eats them up. What a delicious meal, naughty to make do. For this witch has the taste buds of bitterness and rudeness. There are different lores surrounding this fierce old hag, but all remain true to one major aspect. If you misbehave, Baba Yaga will steal your soul away. She will lock you in her cabin for no one to find you, for the chicken legs are constantly on the run. She'll fatten you up good and plump, boil you alive, and eat you for lunch. Do not fret, young children. She isn't all bad. In fact, some lores, this creepy crone is portrayed as a wise woman. Baba Yaga is the arch crone, the goddess of wisdom and death, the bone mother, wild and untamable. She is a nature spirit bringing wisdom and death of ego, and through death, rebirth. Our next boogeyman is Aswang. The aswang is probably the most common Filipino monster, since there are so many different kinds. In general, they are shapeshifters, who are human by day, then at night turn into a dog, a pig, a bat, a cat, snake, all types of animals depending on the regional lore. They break into funeral homes and steal recent corpses. They also are known to enter homes to drink human blood. They can turn people into a aswang by tricking the human to bite them in return. The aswang is especially hungry for human fetus. So some of more superstitious stories include neighborhood patrols set up in front of the home of pregnant women to protect her from the wandering stray animals in case they are the aswang in disguise. Matrukulan is our next Filipino monster. The Matrukulan is one of many Filipino creatures who attack pregnant women. This particular creature first impregnates a virgin before coming back later to kill the woman and eat the fetus. Although some stories say both mom and baby are eaten, some stories claim that the woman is not a virgin but rather a married and already pregnant. To protect the mother and child, the husband must swing a basilong or butterfly knife above the woman's belly while she is in labor. This leads to one to wonder which is scarier, an invisible mythological creature or the father of your unborn child brandishing a knife above the abdomen. Is Satan the boogeyman? Do you dare dance with the devil? What about the laugh with, cry with, or even sympathize with? Well, that may depend on which kind of devil you're talking about, as there are many ways in which the devil of the underworld is portrayed. The word devil comes from the Greek word diablos, which translates to one who throws something across one's path. However, today it seems we focus on the devil being an indication of humanity's flawed evils. However, the devil takes on different shapes and forms. In popular culture, he can be a she and take on different forms and feelings. Sometimes the devil is seen as a demon or as envy, and other times as power, even balance between good's inevitable evil in the light of darkness. Every children loves Christmas, and what would be Christmas without Krampus? In folklore, Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure described as a half-goat, half-demon who during the Christmas season punishes children who have misbehaved. In contrast with St. Nicholas, who rewards the well-behaved with gifts, Krampus is the one of the companions of St. Nicholas in several regions including Australia, Bavaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Hungary, northern Italy, etc. The origin of the figure is unclear, for some folklorists and anthropologists have postulated that it's like having a pre-Christian origin. In traditional parades and such events as Krappuslav, English Krampus Run, young men dressed as Krampus participate. In such events occur annually in most alpine towns. Krampus is featured on holiday greeting cards called Krampuskarten, the horned god of witches so well preserved. The perch, apart from his symbolic significance, may have a connection with the initiation rites of certain witch covens, rites which entailed binding and scouring as a form of mock death. The chain could have been introduced in a Christian attempt to bind the devil, but again they could be remnant of a pagan initiation rites. Just what exactly does Krampus look like? Although Krampus appears in many variations, most share some common physical characteristics. He is hairy, usually brown or black, and has cloven hoofs and horns of a goat. His long pointed tongue rolls out, and he has fangs. Krampus carries chains, taught to symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian Church. He thrashes the chains for a dramatic effect. The chains are sometimes accompanied with bells of various sizes. Of more pagan origins are the rooten bundles of birch branches that Krampus carries, which he occasionally swats children. The Boogieman is coming. Thanks for listening to another podcast on the Robert Stogner Show. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you again soon.